Yo, it's Dan. I'm back with another video. Uh, this channel is Typology Gifts. Please give me a like and subscribe if you enjoy what I'm about to say. You can reserve your like and subscribe till the end if you'd like. I think you are going to like what I'm about to cover. I didn't read this post. I just gave it a quick, just looked at the title and the first sentence a little bit. So I'm gonna go into this blind. But today's my cake day. I'm on Reddit, on the INFJ subreddit. I'm answering questions that people have asked on this subreddit and giving people individualized video responses. Hope you're enjoying this. So let's take a look at this post by Unable-Pomegranate. Here it is. I have only recently realized that I'm an INFJ, had always tested as an INTP. I tend to think very rationally, great at standardized tests, and am a messy procrastinator, so it took me really delving further into the functional stack and descriptions to realize that I am an INFJ. I've always been incredibly interested in people and how they make decisions. I can get along with anyone on the surface and make them feel comfortable with my chameleon-like tendencies. By the way, INTPs can be very good at this too, so I just wanted to point that out. I have known some charismatic INTPs. Anyways, I have had a circuitous career. There's a $50,000 word for you. And it took me a while to become a career coach. I currently work at a university and provide career advice to grad students and alumni ages 22 to 70. So I get to meet and hear lots of people's stories. I was recently updating my own resume and checked my records, and I have had more than 2,000 one-on-one appointments in the last few years. A lot of stories. When I set out to pursue this job, I thought it would be the ideal fit for me. I get to listen to people's innermost thoughts, give advice. Sounds perfect. I have realized that it isn't enough. I am not personally creating anything that I feel will impact the world. Many of the people I meet with are incredibly shallow, narcissistic, demanding, but I still need to meet with them, and I often feel like I am at their beck and call. Sometimes the work is extremely draining. Many of the people I speak with are unemployed and depressed. Some clearly have other mental health issues that I cannot address as I am not a psychologist. The university I work for is very large, can be bureaucratic and political, slow to change. If you had asked me 10 years ago, I would have said career coaching is the perfect job for an INFJ. I am very good at it, so my employer thinks it's a great job for me. I am able to help others and see solutions for them, but can't seem to help or see myself. On a daily basis, I wonder if there is any way I can power through this for another 10 or 15 years till I have enough money saved to retire. I have had several different careers and none have been perfect. Each has offered things that the other lacked, and I am starting to wonder if it is actually possible for me to attain any sort of true, lasting professional satisfaction. Have any of you found it? Whoa, that's a good post. Wow, there's a lot to unpack there and think about. I will try to be succinct in my response. To begin with, I did make a video about INFJ career recommendations. I'm hopefully going to come back to this video and link to that. So if I do, if you manage to see it, I would put it right there. Wow. Okay. I'm going to try to parallel what you've said through what I've gone through in my career. I have been in the design field for 15 years, and I've shifted through a number of things, web design, digital marketing, search engine optimization and pay per click, analytics, and then I started getting into user experience, which I was realizing, wow, I'm very kind of suited for this. And user experience is about making technology easier to use, easier to understand for humans. Requires a lot of user testing, wireframing, knowledge of architecture, being able to work with really technical people, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. But I really enjoy it. There's a lot of variety to it. But is it perfect? I think that INFJs are in love with the unknown. They're in love with mysteries and curiosities, and creating things. As you mentioned, you're not feeling satisfied necessarily by the lack of creativity you're getting to employ. So I think what you're feeling is perfectly normal, and yeah, it is hard as an INFJ to get in touch with your introverted feeling and go, what do I like? What do I really want? And that's a hard question to answer. So it's going to require a lot of reflection, soul searching, etc., to try to answer that question. But I think maybe you have this sense that there should be some kind of finality to what you want, or some finality to the career that you end up in, and that probably comes from the sense of how INFJs want truth, and they want to reach finality of an understanding of something and then move on to the next thing. But the problem is, unfortunately, when it comes to your job, your career, whatever, there is no finality to that. It's always going to be ongoing until you either retire or die, sad to say. So you're constantly going to be faced with the question of, is this what I want to be doing? Can I be doing something bigger or better? Is there some better way to use my skill? Is there some way I can be more creative, make a bigger impact, things like that? So having been through this, what you're going through a few times now, what I can try to encourage you to do, I think this is just one possible way to go, is look for tangents. Like, look for ways that you can use your abilities in related ways, but that give you the ability to be more creative. So let's take, for example, you have this ability to sit with students, grad students and alumni, and provide career advice. But that's just a one-off kind of, you're just going to sit down and do a one-off with that person, and that information just goes away. But could you make YouTube videos? Could you contribute to the conversation online and actually create something and have a voice and share all those things you've learned as insights that could benefit many other people than just the people that you're sitting with? And I think that's an itch that INFJs, I'm going to say that as I scratch my head, it's an itch that INFJs have, which is not wanting your work to just be one-off, but actually to be something that can live on and benefit many people over the course of time. So maybe you can be thinking of ways to share your knowledge or your experience, your insight in an online medium perhaps, where your content can live on and benefit maybe hundreds or thousands of other people, as opposed to just these one-on-one conversations that you've had. Now, you've sat with 2,000 people, and that's really impressive, and you've probably impacted those people's lives and then all the lives of the people they're connected to. So don't undercut the work that you've done up to this point. I think it's been really important and useful. And really the question is, like, what do you want to do next? So spend some time soul searching, do a lot of research, figure out what your options are and where you can go, and then maybe try to scale down what you're doing and scale up on this new thing, whatever it's going to be, and gradually make that transition into where you want to go next. So I hope that's helpful to you. I'm going to leave it there, and we will see you in the next video. If you enjoyed that, please like and subscribe. I really appreciate it, and hasta la pasta, calabasa. Is that going to be my new catchphrase?